Alright, so let's create that tab system in pure JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So you can find the source code in description, or you can also follow along with me if you want to code it. So I just have an index.html style CSS with a simple reset and an app.js file. So you can just go there and start with the HTML. So we need a container. I call it tabs component like that. Okay. So basically my example is right there. Then we need to build the tabs container with all the button. So button, tabs like that. And I've just put some random text right there. So Sydney, and also Tokyo and Oslo. All right, great. And we want the first button to have an active class, okay? So we will just add it right there to show some color and everything. Great. So now we do have our tabs container. We need to show the content too, and we will just create it below. So content and active content. Content and active content like that. Okay. So for each content, there will be a lorem ipsum. So for the first one, I will just add 1 and then some text, for example. So lorem 20 like that. Then you can just copy it and paste it, and you will just change the 2 and 3, and you can remove the active content to the to those content element right there. Okay, you just add it to the first one. Great. So this is it for the HTML, not so complicated. And now we need to style everything, so we can head to our style CSS right there. Great. So I can zoom it a bit, and I can start with the tabs component. Tabs component. So our example look like that, okay? And we can start with the margin. So 100 pixel top, auto, left, right, 0, bottom. A max width of 600 pixel, a min height of 300 pixel, a background 333 like that, okay? A border radius 2 pixel, a position relative, and a border 2 pixel solid hash F1 25. Okay, so something like that. Great. This is the whole container. Now we need to take care of the tabs. So tabs container, bg333, display flex, border bottom 1 pixel, solid 333. Okay, great. And now we need to style each button. Okay, each of those buttons. So for each tabs, I want to give a width of 200 pixel. Or since we are using display flex, actually we don't need to put a width right there. We can share the space. We can just add something like flex grow 1, some padding, 30 pixel top bottom 0, display flex, and we center display flex, and we center the text on the x-axis, and we center on the y-axis to justify content and align items. Font size 22 pixel. Font weight 700 pixel. Okay, great. Cursor pointer. Border bottom, we can put something like 1 pixel solid and the same color as before. Great. And also we can put a border none right there. So we will just keep the border bottom, okay? And to finish, we can give the background 333 and a color of F1, like that. So yeah, it should look like that. It's working, great. And we need to add some border to the border of the button. So actually we will do something like that. Tabs, colon not, colon enter child 3. So every tabs except the third one. Border right, 1 pixel solid with the same color right there. Okay, so yes, we do have our tabs right there. So indeed, you can create those tabs in a light style, in a light fashion, or in a dark style like that. So it's really as you want. Then we need to take care of the content right there. Okay, you see the content, so we need to take care of it. So content width of 100%. We will put a display none after everything is set up, but for now I will just comment it. color F1, 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 and some padding, 20 pixel padding, like that. Okay, great. Great, now the H3, so content H3, font farm railway, which is a font family that I imported right there. Okay, so just do the same if you want to use the same font family. You can also put sans serif right there if you want to use something that you don't need to import. Okay, great. So railway right there, font weight 600, font size 25 pixel, margin bottom 10 pixel. Then we need to take care of the paragraphs. So font family open sans, which is also a font fam that I imported before. So font weight 100, font size 20 pixel, and a line height of 1.4. Okay, great. This is great. This is great. This is working. But right now I do see every content. So I will just hide those with a display none. Great. And I will create my animation classes. Active content will take a display block. And the active tabs will take a background of linear gradient to right. And the first color will be hash E66747. And the second one will be DB8 before D. Okay, great. So since our first tabs do have the active class right there, okay, so you can see it, and also the first content, because when we want to arrive on the web pages, we want to see the first content, and so the first button activated. Okay, great. So now this is working great, but there is no dynamism. So if you click on the button, it won't work. So the JavaScript is not there. So we need to take care of the JavaScript part. So let's go to our app.js and let's take the tabs, which is equal to an array from document.querySelector tabs. This is a post ES6 way of creating an array from a node list. Okay. Then we need to also create an array from the contents. So we will do something similar. Document.querySelector all content, like that. Okay, great. So then tabs.forEach. So for each tab, I do want to return a tab.addEventListener click, and it will trigger a handle tabs function. Okay, so this is really easy to do. So we are just adding an event listener on all tabs. Okay, all tab. So we just take all the tabs right there of the button, and we put a click event on all those buttons. Great. So now I need to create that function, and I need also to create an index variable with a function handle tabs, like that. Great. So I will say that const current element equal to e.target. So whenever I click on a button, it will be the current element. Then when I click on a button, I want to remove the active class from the tabs and the content. So tabs of index.classList .remove active. Okay, great. And also active content from contents of index. All right, understood? So it's coming from there. The index at the beginning is 0 because it's starting at 0. Okay, so when I click on another button, it will remove the classes from the first button. Okay, and once it's removed, I can say index equal tabs dot index of current L. Okay, so the index will take the value of the index of the current element in the tabs. All right. So great, and now I can just add my classes to the good button and the good content. So actually I can do tabs of index again, .classList.add active, and content of index.classList.add. Okay, and it will just work fine. You see that? it's just working fine. And the content is also changing below. You can see the number are just moving. So you can also do something like that if you want to see something more realistic. You can add something like Sochi. Yes. Okay, great. So now you can see some change. Okay, some changes. All right, so it's working. It's as easy as that, actually. Okay, so it's working, but if you click on the same button, it will trigger that content, and you don't really want to trigger it. So maybe you can just add a if condition right there. So you just verify that you are not clicking on the same button. So if tabs.index of e.target is strictly equal to index, that means that you just click on a button that is already activated. So you just return and you go out of the function, okay? Okay, great. So now if I click on it, it will just return and it won't just execute this, all right? So it's still working and it's more performant, all right? Great, so like, subscribe, and see you in another video. You can also find the source code in description. And yeah, that's it. Have a nice day. Bye.